On a quiet Sunday morning, a single bullet ripped through history. That sound, echoing through the streets of Sarajevo, didn't just end a man's life. It ended peace, and it started the bloodiest war humanity had ever seen. This is not just the story of an assassination. It's the story of how one car, one wrong turn, and one man's rage set the world on fire. June 28th, 1914. The city of Sarajevo wakes up to celebration. Flags, cheering crowds, a parade of imperial pride. The heir to the Austro-Hungarian throne, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, has come to inspect his empire's newest territory, Bosnia. But beneath the cheers, hatred brews. Because to many in the Balkans, Austria-Hungary isn't a ruler. It's an occupier. And in the shadows of this empire, a secret society is plotting. They call themselves the Black Hand. And their mission? Liberation through chaos. In a dark cafe, 6 young men sit in silence. They're nervous. Some can't stop shaking. They're armed, pistols, bombs, cyanide capsules, ready to die for their cause. Their leader? Gavrilo Princip, a 19-year-old with frail lungs but fire in his heart. He believes one death can spark a revolution. He's right, but not in the way he expects. The Archduke's motorcade rolls through the streets, open-top cars, no armor, no plan for danger. Franz Ferdinand is proud, confident, and defiant. He believes his presence will win hearts. Instead, it paints a target on his chest. As the convoy turns onto the main boulevard, one of the assassins, Nedeljko Chabrinovic, pulls the pin on a grenade. He throws, it bounces off the car and explodes beneath the one behind it. Screams, smoke, blood. The Archduke survives, shaken, furious. The assassins scatter into the crowd. The attempt has failed, or so everyone thinks. Hours later, the Archduke insists on visiting the wounded at the hospital. His driver is told to take a new route, but confusion reigns. The convoy turns down the wrong street, and standing on that very corner is Gavrilo Princip. He can't believe it. The car stops right in front of him. Fate hands him history. He steps forward. 2 shots. One hits the Archduke's wife, Sophie. The other pierces the Archduke's neck. Franz Ferdinand's last words: "Sophie, don't die. Stay alive for our children." But within minutes, both are gone. And so is Europe's peace. News of the assassination hits Vienna like a thunderclap. Shock turns to fury. To the Austrians, it's not just murder, it's an insult to their empire. And in the smoke of grief, vengeance takes shape. They blame Serbia, the small kingdom suspected of aiding the assassins. And when Austria-Hungary demands justice, Serbia hesitates. Within weeks, alliances ignite like gunpowder. Russia stands by Serbia. Germany backs Austria-Hungary. France joins Russia. Britain enters to defend Belgium. Within 30 days, half the world is at war. One wrong turn in Sarajevo becomes a spiral of global destruction. The First World War begins, a war that will claim over 16 million lives. Trenches stretch across Europe like open scars. Gas fills the air. Empires crumble. An entire generation is lost. All from one moment, one bullet, one breath between peace and chaos. But what made that moment possible? What kind of world allowed a teenager to change history? To understand that, we have to rewind. Europe, 1914, a continent drunk on power and pride. Kings, emperors and generals, all obsessed with dominance. The Balkans, a boiling pot of nationalism, rebellion and revenge. Every nation wants more land, more influence, more control. And standing in the middle of it all, Austria-Hungary, a decaying empire trying to look invincible. Its emperor, Franz Joseph, old and tired. His heir, Archduke Franz Ferdinand, modern, ambitious, and dangerously outspoken. He dreams of reforming the empire, giving Slavs equal rights, reshaping politics, bringing peace through unity. But that vision threatens the old guard. And in trying to save the empire, he unknowingly lights the fuse that will destroy it. Meanwhile, across the border in Serbia, nationalist groups dream of a Greater Serbia, a nation that unites all Slavic peoples under one flag. They see Austria-Hungary as the enemy standing in the way. And when the Archduke, the symbol of that empire, decides to visit Bosnia on Vidovdan, Serbia's most sacred national holiday, it's seen as a humiliation, an insult, a provocation that must be answered. And the answer is blood. Back in Sarajevo, the assassins train with stolen weapons and twisted ideals. They're barely adults, but they believe death is the only path to freedom. When the Archduke's visit is announced, the Black Hand moves quickly. 6 men are positioned along the route, each with the same order: kill the Archduke, die for the cause. What no one predicts is how many times fate will intervene. The morning of the attack, the Archduke's car glides past the first assassin. He freezes, his hands shake. He can't throw the bomb. The second loses his nerve. The third, Chabrinovic, acts and fails. The others panic, thinking the mission is lost. But Gavrilo Princip refuses to leave. He wanders into a cafe, defeated, starving, ready to give up. And then destiny drives by, literally. The Archduke's car takes a wrong turn right into Princip's line of sight. No planning, no coordination, just chaos. He steps forward. 2 shots. History breaks. The world reacts with disbelief. Some think it's a tragedy. Others, an opportunity. In Berlin, Kaiser Wilhelm sends a blank check of support to Austria-Hungary. Whatever they need, Germany will back them. In St. Petersburg, Tsar Nicholas mobilizes his army to defend Serbia. And in London, diplomats scramble to stop a war that's already begun. Every leader thinks they can control the storm. None realize they're already inside it. By August 1914, Europe descends into madness. The machine guns roar, the trenches fill. The world changes forever. Empires fall. Austria-Hungary, Russia, Ottoman, German. New nations rise, old borders vanish. And a young Adolf Hitler, a soldier in the chaos, begins to form his own dark vision of revenge, setting the stage for an even deadlier war. And it all began with a 19-year-old boy standing on a street corner with a pistol. Think about that. History isn't always made by kings or generals. Sometimes it's made by a cough in the crowd, a missed turn, a second of hesitation. If the car hadn't turned down that street, if Princip had gone home 5 minutes earlier, if the grenade had done its job, would the world have avoided World War I? Would millions have lived? Would the 20th century look completely different? We'll never know. But we do know this. One small moment can rewrite everything. The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand wasn't just a trigger, it was a mirror. It reflected the arrogance, pride, and tension of a world waiting to explode. And when it did, the echo lasted for generations. Because the truth is, the Archduke didn't die alone that day. So did the old world, the age of empires, the illusion of peace, the belief that humanity had evolved past destruction. That bullet didn't just kill a man, it killed an era. And as his blood stained the streets of Sarajevo, the world stepped into the fire, a fire that would burn for 4 long years and leave scars that still shape us today. The end.